Interpretation proposals for the churches in the walled city of Famagusta, North Cyprus. After the first part, that is introduction, problem statement, aim and objectives, scope and limitation, methodology, data sources and data analysis, the second part are about the theoretical review on cultural heritage interpretation, definitions, objectives in the international charters, some examples worldwide, and good examples of interpretation of sites of memory. Third part is about characteristics of the churches in the walled city of Famagusta, brief history and current problems of these churches. Fourth part is about interpretive plan of these churches, answering the main four questions of why, what, who, how, and then the proposals for the interpretive plan of these churches according to the 7 main objectives of ICOMOS in 2008, then visitor management plan of these churches, conclusions and references. There are so many churches in the walled city of Famagusta, which are, some of them are abandoned, some of them have a function, but most of them are interpreted inappropriately, so we are going to develop an interpretive plan for these churches for solving their current problems in order to the main objective of conservation of these churches. The introduction part is about Cyprus, Famagusta, these churches, and different parts of this article in 4 main parts, then conclusion. The problem statement is about the problems of these churches and answering the main 2 questions of how can we better interpret these churches and what are the current problems so that we can solve these problems with the proposed interpretive plan. The aim, objectives, and significance of this study. So we're gonna propose an interpretive plan for these churches which can be used for other cultural heritage with the similar problems. There are 25 churches inside the walled city and 1 underground outside the walled city, so totally 26 churches are the case studies. And the lack of documentation is the biggest problem or limitation of this study. After the comprehensive literature survey, the author has collected the data from the site survey, personal on-site observations, site analysis, photographs, personal measurements, mapping, and field survey are coming after the literature survey. Data sources are collected from the libraries of Eastern Mediterranean University and also online PDF books and articles from the Web of Science. And the analysis of the data, the plan sections, facade of these churches were measured, mapped by the author, then digitalized using AutoCAD software, and the documentation of these churches have been done thoroughly by the author. The second part, theoretical review on cultural heritage interpretation, starts with the definition of the interpretation and objectives of it in different international charters, starting from the Bura Charter in 1979 and the main one in the Charter of ICOMOS in 2008, which has the main objectives. The cultural heritage interpretation examples worldwide are mentioned in the third part. Then we have good examples of interpretation of sites of memory worldwide according to ICSC. And that the third part is about characteristics of these churches. The author has done has published several articles and has done a comprehensive research in her PhD thesis entitled Interpretation Problems and Proposals for the Churches in the Walled City of Famagusta. Also, the author has made some YouTube videos which are about each of these churches, also introduction to Cyprus, Famagusta, history of these churches, history of North Cyprus, and Famagusta. The first part of the third chapter is about brief history of the churches, starting with Cyprus, then Famagusta, walled city, and then we come to the current problems of these churches. The fourth part is about interpretive plan of these churches, which is mainly derived from the 7 main objectives of the ICOMOS Charter for Interpretation and Presentation of Cultural Heritage Sites in 2008, that are access and understanding, information sources, attention to the setting and context, preservation of authenticity, planning for sustainability, inclusiveness, research, training, and evaluation, answering the main 4 questions of why, about vision and objectives of the interpretive plan, what selected features and messages, who is it for, audience typology, how the strategic approach and methodology, which is again categorized in 7 parts that are the 7 main objectives of ICOMOS in 2008. Then we come to the main part of the article, which is the results, that is proposals for the interpretive plan for the churches in the walled city of Famagusta. And it is categorized in 7 main parts according to the 7 objectives of the ICOMOS Charter of 2008. I also proposed 12 different paths for visitors of the churches in the walled city of Famagusta. In this map, you can see that there are 3 different ways to enter the walled city. On the upper side, the northern gate, on the down right, the southeast, and down left, the southwest entrance. So different 12 paths are suggested, either for the students, tourists, or even the locals and experts to visit 26 churches, which 25 of them are inside the walled city, and just one with number with the title Q, just outside of the walled city on the northwest side. And we also can see Royal Palace and John Bulat Museum, also House with Fireplace, and Akkule Mosque, which is the existing tourist information center. In this paths, this is one of the ways, one of the alternatives. Conclusions. In this part, different suggestions or proposals for the interpretation of these churches are mentioned in detail. For example, as the access to inside these churches have problem, and most of the visitors, especially the tourists and students, locals or experts, would like to have access inside these churches. Accessibility inside these churches is very important. Site maps, wayfinding sites, interpretation panels consisting of the history before and after, pictures of these churches about current time, before or after the conservation time, and also having QR codes linked to the YouTube videos are suggested. Here are the references for this church, and here you can see the different YouTube links of the author about each church, which you can watch in her YouTube channel. Thank you very much for your time and attention.